On 1st July, Slovenia will take over the presidency of the Council of the EU from Portugal. After 3 Corona presidencies, the Slovenian presidency's prior focus should be to start leading the Union towards its future. First, it is time to recover. The implementation of the next generation EU needs to be on the agenda. The Slovenian presidency needs to implement the national recovery and resilience plans and aim for a comprehensive and future-oriented recovery that is based on rule of law and includes reforms in health, just like the legislative package on climate and energy, in order to comply with the ambitious aims of the European Green Deal. Secondly, it is time to talk about the future. According to a recent special Eurobarometer survey, 92% of Europeans agree that EU citizens' voices should be taken more into account for decisions related to the future of Europe, and 3/4 of Europeans consider the Conference on the Future of Europe to represent significant progress for European democracy. Taking this into consideration, the Slovenian presidency should guarantee the well-functioning of the conference and not deceive the citizens' expectations. Thirdly, it is time to set the strategic horizon. The broader debate on strategic autonomy will be on the table, waiting for a real attribution to the term and giving substance to it through the ongoing process for the adoption of the strategic compass and new initiatives in the fields of digital, trade, finance and others. The next 6 months following the EU-US summit in June will be particularly dense in this respect, demanding crucial decisions. The Union is recently pushed to have a common stance, be it against Turkey, Russia or Belarus. How to deal with these external challenges should also be at the core of the discussion.
Digital has become one of the most important topics for our common European future. The digital acceleration lived during the pandemic has taught us that we must advance in the process of digitalization, guaranteeing fundamental rights and trying not to leave anyone behind, at the same time that we guarantee the robustness and ethical deployment of new EDTs and that we try to secure our networks. So from that perspective, here are my 3 recommendations to the Slovenian presidency. The first one is that on the 3rd anniversary of the GDPR, we must review the implementation mechanisms to guarantee the effective protection of the data of European citizens. In addition, we shall advance in the creation of a new framework for transatlantic data sharing and to share data with third countries. Second, we should launch a campaign to develop cyber hygiene practices among companies and citizens, focusing on SMEs that make most of the European business fabric, to secure our societies against cyber attacks and to improve the union's cyber resilience. Lastly, as for the new emerging and disruptive technologies, the new AI Act should come hand in hand with the promotion of the harmonization of new sectorial rules that ensure not only the ethical development and deployment of artificial intelligence, but also the robustness of its code to guard them against cyber attacks.
The external dimension of the European Green Deal will be high on the agenda of the Slovenian presidency in the second half of 2021. Mid-July, the Commission is expected to table its Fit for 55 package and also a proposal for a carbon border adjustment measure. This is likely to have a big impact on how the rest of the world views the EU's climate change ambitions and also its international positioning in the lead-up to COP26 in Glasgow in November 2021. But there are other challenges too for the EU's external action and integration of climate change. For instance, how will the 30% climate spending objectives be translated into the external action instruments, such as the funding instrument Global Europe, but also the Common Foreign and Security Policy and the Common Security and Defence Policy. The EU has made first steps with acknowledging the climate security nexus in its Climate Diplomacy Council conclusions and also Climate and Defence Roadmap. We hope that the Slovenian presidency will bring such agendas further and that we will see more results, tangible results on the ground on how EU climate change policy contributes to peace and stability in this world.
Enlargement is one of the key priorities for Slovenia's European Council Presidency. To break the year-long deadlock of enlargement policy and set the EU's engagement in the region on a new course, Slovenia should focus on 3 main steps. First, open negotiations with Albania and North Macedonia. This step will serve to translate the long-promised credible membership perspective for all Western Balkan countries into a concrete and tangible process of negotiations. Second, engage beyond the government. To ensure sustainable and broadly supported reforms, the Presidency should enhance the EU's collaboration with parliamentarians and ministerial staff, as well as relevant civil society organizations, to foster more participatory policymaking. Finally, support an effective response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the Western Balkans. This involves providing direct support to local health systems and ongoing vaccination campaigns, but also preparing more long-term measures to redress the pandemic's political and economic impact in the region.